Clear thinking takes effort, and that effort is part of the work. Hard questions push back. They do not offer quick answers. Most people move away from them too quickly. The mind looks for relief. It looks for a shortcut. One way you fool yourself is by accepting an easy answer too soon. You start to notice the pattern. A hard question appears, and you feel the urge to settle. You choose the first answer that sounds reasonable and stop searching. But the question stays hard because it needs more work, not more comfort. Difficult questions must be faced, not avoided. The mind wants closure quickly. A fast answer feels like safety. When a question feels closed, effort drops and tension fades. Open questions demand attention, and attention costs energy. So the brain tries to end the problem as soon as possible. You see this in your own thinking. When a topic is complex, you prefer a simple rule. When facts conflict, you choose a side quickly. When the answer is unclear, you grab a guess and treat it as truth. Closure brings relief, and relief becomes a reward. Over time, this habit freezes weak explanations into strong beliefs. Shortcuts can help in simple situations, but they become harmful when a problem requires careful work. Closure without evidence creates shallow understanding. Patience is more valuable than quick certainty. Quick closure weakens deep reasoning. Not knowing can feel uncomfortable, but it is normal. Honest thinking begins with gaps. Those gaps are not failures. They are signals that real work is needed. You notice how the mind reacts to uncertainty. It feels unstable. It wants a clear position. It wants to end the discomfort. So it may invent an explanation, borrow one from others, or pretend the question is simpler than it is. This creates clarity, but not truth. When you want to feel informed yet lack information, tension appears. To reduce it, the mind may choose a quick belief or reject new facts that keep the question open. Accepting uncertainty keeps the mind honest. Saying, "I don't know yet," keeps the door open for better answers. Accepting uncertainty strengthens thinking. Hard questions become easier when you divide them. A large problem can feel heavy and unclear, but most big questions are made of smaller ones. When you separate them, structure appears. Start by restating the hard question in plain words. List what parts are unclear. Turn each unclear part into a smaller question. Separate facts from assumptions. Separate what you know from what you guess. Breaking a complex problem into parts makes each step visible. If one part is wrong, you can fix it without starting over. Solving one small piece at a time reduces the size of the unknown. Complex questions become clear through smaller steps. Evidence anchors serious thinking. A hard question cannot be solved by preference or by what feels right. It needs facts that can be checked. Without evidence, you are only trading opinions. Notice how preferences enter the process. You may prefer a simple story or a belief that fits your group. You may choose an answer that protects your self-image. These preferences push you toward a conclusion before the work is done. Careful thinking begins with observation. You form a claim. You define what the claim predicts. You test it. Then you revise based on results. This method does not guarantee perfection, but it reduces self-deception and keeps your reasoning tied to reality. Evidence must guide every serious question. Slow thinking is a tool. Fast thinking offers quick answers and works well for simple tasks. Hard questions require more than a first pass. They require checking and careful steps. You can notice two speeds in your mind. Fast thinking reacts, labels, and closes the case. Slow thinking examines, asks what is missing, compares options, and tests assumptions. When a question is difficult, switch to the slower mode. Pause before rushing. Write the problem in plain words. List what you know and what you do not know. Work through one step at a time. Slower thinking is not wasted time. It prevents shallow conclusions that must be corrected later. Slower thinking improves problem-solving accuracy. The first answer is often a draft. The mind wants to finish quickly, so it offers a solution and tries to stop. That solution may be incomplete or built on hidden assumptions. Treat your first answer as a first pass. Do not reject it, but do not trust it yet. Ask what it depends on. Ask what facts support it. Ask what facts would break it. Try to disprove it. Look for counterexamples. Testing is not pessimism. It is quality control. Confidence should come from surviving tests, not from sounding sure. The first answer must survive testing before acceptance. Better questions lead to better thinking. A vague question invites a vague answer. A clear question forces clarity. Refine your questions. Define your terms. Ask what evidence would count. Ask what outcome would support the claim and what outcome would reject it. Clear questions create a clear path for testing. When the question is precise, the work becomes more focused. Simple questions cut through confusion. They stop the mind from bluffing and reduce the urge to escape. Clear questions create clear answers. Real understanding takes time. Hard questions resist quick fixes. If you rush, you get an answer that only feels complete. If you stay, you build an answer that can hold up. Progress often comes through repeated passes. First, you learn the terms. Then you gather facts. Then you test ideas. Then you revise. This steady effort builds depth. Avoiding difficulty may feel easier, but it weakens your thinking. Patience protects you from shallow conclusions and false certainty. Real understanding requires time and effort. Reality is the final test. An answer must match what actually happens. If it does not match, it is wrong, no matter how smart it sounds. Apply this rule to your own work. If you believe you solved a problem, check the result. If you believe you found the cause, test whether it predicts future outcomes. If you think you understand, use the idea to make accurate expectations. Prefer results over impressions. Test in ways that could prove you wrong. If the answer survives, it becomes stronger. If it fails, revise it. Do not stop when the answer feels good. Stop when the answer works. Reality decides whether your answer is correct. Persistence can be trained. The mind often tries to escape hard questions through distraction, quick certainty, or borrowed answers. To stay with the problem, you need a method. Notice the urge to settle. Pause and label it. Return to the facts you have. List what you need to know next. Work one small step. This keeps the question open without panic. It prevents bluffing. Watch your own thinking process. Notice when you rush or avoid. Notice when comfort feels like proof. Correct the process early. With practice, persistence becomes normal. Clear thinkers stay with hard questions until the reasoning is sound.